Welcome back. My name is Ashima Ananda, and I have written a book called Charging Your Chakras, a practical guide to chakra exploration. I invite you to take a look at the book and everything that is for sale on my website at ashimaananda.com. And in these 5-minute videos, let me start my timer. We are talking about the chakra system. And recently, we have been discussing data. Data. We've been discussing data and building something, and how practices can reveal what you have built in your life and what you want to build and where you want to go. So the sort of before, during, and after. And it seems like this revolution, right? Before, during, after, before, during, after. So you know what came before, you know where your practices are right now, and you know where you're headed, which I think is a fun place to be. Last time we talked a little bit about me and where I was coming from. So this time what I want to do is talk about building something, really building something, no matter what that is. See, I don't have a lot of answers for you. All I really have is information about the chakra system that you can use to build something, that you can use to see what you've already built, that you can use to see what you want to build in the future, or how you want to get to where you want to build what you want to build in the future. So let's talk about that. I think it starts with recognizing what you've built so far. Where are you right now and what you've built? Hold on. Excuse me. And what you've built so far. And then I think and of course there's a next step. However, let's let these steps bleed together. Let's make a tie-dye a little bit. Let's make a gradient, because where you have been informs where you're going and where you are. But where you have been can be revealed to you over and over again as you move forward in your practices. Because I don't always know, and this might be the same for you, I don't always know where I've been. Or I know where I've been, but my perspective has changed. Once my perspective changes, then where I've been changes. It's sort of like that principle, anything that's being observed has been changed simply by being observed. So let's factor that in to our practices and where we're going with each practice that we dive into. And remembering also that practices are not static, they're ever changing, and they're designed by you. You are the architect of these practices. You are the architect of what you are building. You are the architect of what you built. Let's take the judgment out of it. Let's take the expectations out of it. Let's take conforming out of it. Let's just let that, all that is here. That's humanity. That's living on the planet, right? So, but let's just take a moment to say, all right, we're going to let that sit in the penumbra. You know, not the shadow, not our shadow, but in our penumbra, right? It's there. We know it's there. But let's let it sit for a while. And let's see what practice we can design, choose to build something. So I think the first question is, what do you want to build? What do you want to build? Do you want things, houses, cars? Do you want relationships? Do you want both? Do you want it all? Well, that's great. So let's talk about how we can build that. So that to me is a practice. It's almost like an overarching practice, as if to say, okay, I'm going to take all these little steps, but they're all in service to this umbrella of desire that I have created for myself, that I know for sure can change. I was just put in mind of a real umbrella, but with, you know, those projectors that you can project onto things. Like I see some on buildings, and and at Christmas time, and for messages on buildings and that sort of thing. Well, think of that. Think of your overarching umbrella, and that has a projection either on the top of it or coming underneath, whatever, or both. And that's you. That's you thinking like, ooh, this has been my life so far, and this is where I want to go. Visualization is a great thing. What an enormous practice. I love visualization. You could visualize where you're going. Now, you might ask yourself, well, what does this have to do with chakras? Well, how do we get where we're going? We are divine. We are connected. We are expressive. We are loved. We are strong. We are creative, and we are safe. That's our 5 minutes. But just give me 1 more minute. All of those things are part of where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. You're just bringing consciousness to them. You're just becoming aware of them. You're becoming aware not just of them, but of how they operate in you and how you can use them to operate the way you want to operate. So there we are. There is a little bit more about gathering the data, the proof section in the book. Sending positive energy out to all beings everywhere. Namaste. The light in me recognizes, honors,